Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday live stream. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Looks like it works, but I'd love confirmation. I've messed up with this before, as some of you know. Most of you probably know. You love the snowscape. I should get my phone. 1 second. That's how I got that with this. So I just had my phone pointed outside. And yeah, that's how we do that. Sorry, I'm going to make you guys all dizzy by holding this like this. I just want to bring this down and put it on my tripod so I can use it on my desk. Yes, we can hear you. Awesome. Awesome. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the 124th live stream. Wow, that's a lot of live streams. Good thing I enjoy doing these, right? Good thing you guys keep showing up, right? Yeah, so today I am going to have an after party after this one. So for those who are members of the channel, who have joined the channel, after this 2-hour live stream, I will start that live stream. It's a members only live stream called the after party, and it'll be at 3 o'clock Eastern time for anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. And then I've got to get ready for some meetings tonight. So that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, it will be the last after party for the foreseeable future. I may bring them back at some point, but I mentioned this a few weeks ago that they need to come to an end for a little bit because I've just got a lot of other things going on. So that's that. Real quick, just a couple of announcements before I get into some stuff I want to talk about and get into the chat. And I'm pulling this off of last week's notes because a lot of the announcements are the same. Creators Growth Project, we got our start yesterday, so that's off and running. That was an awesome time, and some meetings are going to happen the rest of this week. So at some point, I will let everybody else know kind of what's going on with that. Live Stream Made Easy. Those of you who have that course from me, this Thursday is our next monthly meetup. So we're going to get together and check in, see how things are going. I'm hoping to have 1 or 2 new videos before that happens. So I'm going to be working on that tonight and tomorrow and Thursday. So that's Thursday. If you're new here and you need more help, I've got links in the description below to some freebies that I give away. If you, just to simplify things, if you just go to my website, robthemaritimer.com, and click Start Here, that'll get you to the page that kind of shows everything that I have to offer. Yeah, if you're looking for something for free, then you're in the right place, because that's what I do today. What else do I got? After party, talked about that. December 23rd. So next week, that's enough for that one. Next week's live stream is going to be a Christmas party. I don't know what that means yet, but I mentioned it last week, and I reminded myself today. I'm going to do something special, maybe some giveaways of something. I don't know. I'm open to ideas, but we're going to have fun as we lead into Christmas. I'm not taking a break, though, through Christmas. I'm not going to miss a Tuesday. Last year, I turned one of the Tuesdays into a Monday live stream because I think it was New Year's Eve, maybe? I can't, or Christmas Eve. And anyway, not a problem this year. So that said, let me just jump into the chat before I start. So I got 2 things mainly that I want to talk about today, in addition to answering your questions. Number 1 is a comment I got from Anaholics in my video that I put out yesterday. I loved the comment, and it got me thinking, and it got me thinking so much that I'm going to turn that into a video, but I want to talk about that too. You've got a decision to make, I think is what the title's going to be. So you can think about what that's going to be about. And also today, and I don't know if she's here or not, but somebody asked me some detailed questions about how I made yesterday's video, in particular the B-roll. And, you know, I was talking, but you didn't see me talking. It was like me walking through the trail and stuff like that. Basically how I did that. So I'm going to go over that, how I did that. I've got a test project set up so I can talk about that. But anyways, we'll get to that. Let me jump into the chat to see who is here and if you have any questions right off the top. Catherine says you're only here for 30 minutes or so. That's okay. Totally understandable. No problem. Thanks for letting me know. Actually, Scott, I don't know if you noticed, but I made you a moderator today. I hope that's okay. If you don't want to, let me know. I'll remove that. But it's good to have at least one moderator in the house. And there's Scott. Happy time zone, friends. Heidi is here. How you doing, Heidi? From sunny, warm Phoenix, Arizona. Not so warm here. Harrow Beds Thoughts. Thought you missed it. Nope, you're just on time. Right on time. Moot Blue Farm, how you doing? Good to see you. Jen Ellis. Hello, my fellow creators. Am I yelling? I feel like I'm yelling again. I catch myself every once in a while. I'm just talking too loud. Just gotta settle down. Settle down, Rob. Hello, my fellow creators. Hope you're having a great day. How is Christmas just around the corner? Yeah, I don't know. Actually, usually you guys saw the snow that we have here. It's not a lot. I think we have a couple of inches, maybe 5-10 centimeters at the most. But it's the first time this early in the season we've had snow for a number of years. Usually we have a green Christmas here. So just so you know. Hello from Norway. How you doing? Anders L., good to see you. Chris, good to see you, Chris. Erica from Lithuania. Hello, Erica. Is it just me, or is this quarter century just flown by? Yeah, just like 2000 seemed like just yesterday, didn't it? For God's glory is here. Hello. Hello, creators. I'm a new creator, and I'm happy to be here. Call me Deb. Hi, Peanut. Yeah, Peanut is, where did she go now? Oh, she's settled in back there. You know what? Peanut's funny because when I start these live streams, I can hear the music, right, of the intro. Like I see that on my screen and I hear it. I think she knows what's going to happen because as soon as that music starts, she stands up and starts walking across my desk. And then she's down here and she's just, I don't know. It's like she's getting ready to get filmed, I guess. I don't know. But it doesn't usually take long and she settles in. All right, what else we got here? Any questions? There's a question right there. Look at that pretty snowy dockside scene. Rob, you should film 5 minutes of night scene with the lights on and use that as a background for the countdown next week. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea for the Christmas party. Yes, I could do that. Let's see. Mike's Adventure Sparks is here. 500. Did you get to 500 subscribers? Is that what that means, Mike? Awesome. If you did, congratulations. Lady of the house is in the house. Hello, everyone. Good morning, Rob. Hope all is well. I'm excited to see what you have to talk about today. Good Tuesday, everyone. Cycling with Cancer creator. Good to see you. Hello from the UK. Hello from the UK. Maggie, good to see you. I got to the 1,000 milestone over the weekend. Wishing everyone the best. Congratulations. That's a great achievement. Lori is in the house. How you doing, Lori? Good to see you. I'm new here, Joanne. Good to see you, Joanne. Welcome, first time. Karen is here. Hello, Karen. All right, let me start speeding up here or I'll never get through these. Sorry if I didn't say hi to everybody. I thought it looked cold here. Brr. Yeah, what is it out there anyways? It's -3 Celsius, so it's around 28 Fahrenheit is what it is outside right now here. Winter coat weather, as many of you pointed out to me that I should have been wearing a coat in yesterday's video. I probably should have. But that's a nice warm sweater, and I like the sweater. All right. Okay, I'm scrolling a little quicker here now. Let's see. Rob, I feel stuck. I hear you. That's a common feeling in YouTube land. A lot of people feel stuck and just not sure where to go. What am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry you feel stuck. I'm thinking about this question, or not a question, this observation that Ann Hollick's made that I want to talk about, and it kind of addresses that a little bit. So maybe I should kind of mention that. So basically, now I don't want to read the entire comment because it was long, but just the gist of it basically said he likes that I help people. I have a good sense for business. So I have a business background, so maybe that's part of it. However, YouTube is not for everybody. I think most people are not that way, and I think that's why many people may not be able to make a living out of it. Okay, so that sounds a bit dark, but bear with me a second. It's not luck. You need to have a bit of luck and have the right mindset. As far as talent goes, he doesn't mean you have to be born with it. You can learn a lot of what you need to learn. But what he's talking about is the mindset of making, here it is, more like the mindset of making the videos I make while nobody is telling me what to do and when to do it. And that kind of hit home a little bit. You also need to have some sort of curiosity how things work. But yeah, the videos I make and just making them without people telling me what to make them. And that got me thinking to a lot of the questions I get in my comments. And I love getting questions and I love answering and helping out as best as I can. But a lot of times the questions can be kind of basic. Basic's not the right word. I guess you can kind of tell by the types of questions that are asked how somebody is thinking. Like if somebody just asks, I'm stuck at 25 subscribers and I don't know what to do. First of all, that's not enough information for anybody to go on to be able to give you some ideas as to what to do. You have to ask yourself some questions. Like you have to kind of be a scientist, put it that way. No one's going to tell you what you have to do, probably, unless you're paying somebody some money and they're your coach and stuff like that, right? People generally won't tell you what to do because what people have to do to grow their channels is completely different for everybody. Like there's no rule book that you can go to. It's like, okay, this is where I'm at now. I got this many subscribers. I make this many videos a week. My videos are about this niche. This is how old I am. This is what gender I am. Like, can I look up all those things and it tell me exactly what to do? No, you can't. Different things will work for different people. So what it comes down to is you have to make some decisions for yourself. You have to decide what you're going to do. You have to sit down and think and come up with a niche, right? Or group of topics you want to talk about on your video. And when I say group, I mean a tight group. Like don't be all over the place if you want to grow. If you don't care about growing, be all over the place and make videos about whatever you want, right? You can do whatever you want. But if you want to grow and you want to maybe make money from this and turn something into a business, then you have to be strategic and you have to think about things and you have to think about how can I make money? Okay, let's start there. Are you going to be an entertainment channel? If you're just going to entertain, then perhaps you don't have to think about being helpful to people, right? Like comedy skits, entertainment, funny videos, right? Like stuff like that works and gets views. And, if you do things like that, you can get views and you can earn money from AdSense, and that's great. But if you want to know where the real money is, it's typically in helping people. If you can solve a problem for somebody, and that could be how to edit videos is how I started. You could help people with mindset issues. Maybe they feel stuck and they don't know what to do in their life or in their marriage or in their work or with their kids. And maybe you've got some experience or some profession, maybe you're a professional and you can help with things like this. That's being helpful. So then what do? Well, you make videos that will answer questions for people or help people with specific things. And what videos do you make though? That's up to you. You have to make those decisions. And what'll help you make those decisions is by starting, just start and make a video, make 5 videos, make 10 videos, and just look to see what's going on. Like measure how they're doing. And I'm not just talking about going into your analytics and seeing how many views you got. Like the best would be getting comments. So you really want to try to get comments. How do you do that? You ask for them. Ask people, get in the habit in your videos to try to get the conversation going both ways. Not just you showing people stuff in your videos or telling people stuff, but ask, like, how can I help you? Like, I'm trying to help in this video. Like, let's say you're making a video and I'm trying to help with this. I hope you find this helpful. If there's any part of this you don't understand, can you let me know in the comments below and I'll try to explain further. Or if it's a little more complicated of an explanation, I will perhaps make another video and I'll address that. And you can say that. You can say that right in your comments and get that two-way communication going. But the actual, like, no one's going to tell you what videos to make. You have to kind of figure that out. So I guess that's kind of where my head is. I said, I think there's like a video in here somewhere. I could talk about this. You can't just go to somebody all the time like, okay, I'm stuck again. Now what do I do? Like, there's no boss. And actually this ties back into a little bit of what I talked about in yesterday's video and my story. The fact that I went to university and I worked for an engineering company for a few years, and then I kind of had enough of that, and I went out on my own. I didn't enjoy working for a boss, but, and that sounds kind of bad, I mean, most people have bosses, and I'd be willing to bet a good 90% of people, like globally in the world, operate better under a boss, like somebody telling them what to do. Like being in a job where it's a job, and you get a steady paycheck, that's a great thing, but there are things you have to do, and you have to do it a certain way, the way your boss or your company says you got to do them, right? So I guess that's the trade-off. And most people, that's great. Like, that's what most people need and want, and that's success, right? And I'm not putting that down at all. Like that, you know, I think also, like, most parents would want that for their kids. It's stability, right? It's a steady paycheck, and that's a good thing, you know. So, and that's why I think sometimes when people buck that trend and give up that kind of a job and try to start something on their own or get into business that may or may not succeed, you know, a lot of businesses go bankrupt. A lot of people aren't successful with businesses. That's a scary thought for your loved ones, okay? Your family, your close friends. And a lot of times the way they respond to that is negatively. Like, why are you doing that? Why would you do that? You've got such a safe job over here. Why give that up for something that may never work, that probably won't work, right? Most people have that mindset, is what I've learned. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I feel like a lot of people almost need that, call it a father figure, mother figure, whatever, somebody looking over them, telling them what to do. And if you ever get stuck, you turn around and ask, what do I do now? And you get the answer. So when I get questions, sometimes I feel a little bit like that. Okay, this might be somebody who is not that comfortable, you know, making their own decisions and deciding, you know, what to do with their channel and trying things to see if they work or not. They just want to be told what to do. And, you know, that's a little bit dangerous in that, just because there's nobody going to be telling you what to do unless you know, pay a bunch of money for a coach or programs, or, but even then, like, you know, I don't know. Am I making sense? So that's where my head went when I read that comment. And I basically said, you're absolutely right. Being an entrepreneur isn't for everyone. What you said at the end really resonated with me. The mindset to make videos that no one is telling me to make. So yeah, I do that. Nobody tells me what videos to make. I get ideas from you in a lot of cases, in the comments and in these live streams. And, you know, sometimes I'll get ideas from watching other people's videos, right? Maybe I watch a video from somebody in my niche and I think that's a good topic and I think I can add to that. So I'll, you know, make my version of it, or I'll take it a step further, or whatever, right? Do that sometimes. But most of the time it comes from the comments. Now, that doesn't help as much if you're just getting started and you're not getting a lot of comments, but that's why I think it's so important to try to probe comments out of your viewers. Ask them questions. Just get in the habit of trying to make it a two-way thing. And then start going live, and then that'll help too. But anyways, there you go. those are my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? I don't mean to offend anybody either. Like when I say that some people might not be cut out for it, that might not be the right way to put it. More accurate way to put it might be some people may not be as comfortable making all the decisions themselves as to what to make and what not to make and where to go, things like that, right? So anyway, something to think about, just something to think about, just because, again, there's no handbook. YouTube has not given us a handbook. This is exactly how you are successful on YouTube. This is what you do to get there. It's different for everybody. So they can't actually, it's not, they're not writing that book because they want to withhold information from us. That's not it. It's because there's nothing they can put in a book that's going to work for everybody, right? All they can do is give you little bits of information here and there, which is kind of what I'm doing. And I'm really just sharing the things that I learn as I go. Some things I learn from other people, other things, most of the time, what I talk about are things that I learn as I do this, right? Like, somebody might say, oh, to make a good thumbnail, you have to, the text that you put on your thumbnail has to be very contrasty to the background, and it's got to really stand out, large text, and you have to put text on your thumbnail, right? Well, I usually do, but yesterday's video, which already has over 5,000 views, there's not a single piece of text on that thumbnail, and I did that as a test. No text. No text on that thumbnail. Just a picture of me in the snow, right? I did it as a test, and the video's doing just great. Is it because I didn't put text in the thumbnail? No. I mean, that might be a small piece of it, but there are so many pieces. Like the number one thing is the story, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But no text, interesting. Yes, that's right. Yeah, and I've seen it done before. It usually works better if you already have a number of subscribers, like a following. That if people just, especially if you are always putting yourself out there, and people get used to seeing you in thumbnails, right? Like I've been doing. I'm always in my thumbnails. So this was one that I'm in the thumbnail, and I made sure I was very visible, like I'm zoomed in, and you can see my blue hat that I'm wearing in most of my thumbnails, most of my videos, just so there's recognition there, right? So I think something like that might work better the further along you get. It may not work as well early on, but just something to keep in mind, and an example of something you can test. There you go. There you go. I noticed that, but I clicked because of the title it had. And there you go. And you know what? I had a long conversation with ChatGPT about that. Should I put text in there? And yeah, that's kind of what we came up with, is that the fact that if the title is strong enough, it can carry it. You don't need, and the fact that, I mean, what was the title? I can't remember what the title was. My YouTube journey. Imagery matters. Okay, so if I just here, let me share my screen for a second, and that's actually not what I want to show you. I'm going to show you that in a second, but let me bring down my channel here. This video here. Okay, so you can see this. Yeah. Whoa, what happened? That got really big for a second. How I became a full-time YouTuber, my backstory. All right, so if you look at the image, okay, so I'm thinking a lot of people want to know how to become a full-time YouTuber. Okay, so right there's going to be curiosity there. And when I say my backstory, and when the image is, I tried to pick a screenshot from the video that looked really snowy. Okay, so there was a time in that video where the wind really blew and a bunch of snow kind of went around me, and I took a screenshot from that. So I don't know, I just felt like that looked like maybe a bit of a struggle is going on. I'm struggling a little bit. It's really cold. Like, you get that imagery where somebody's walking down a snowy path and it's a struggle. They're trying to get somewhere, but it's hard, and right? So that's kind of the image that I was trying to portray. So that message from the image alone is enough to say, like, if I were to put text on that, like some of the things I came up with was, it was hard, or it is hard, right? Well, that image kind of implies it's hard, don't you think? So anyway, it's an example of like the way I arrived at that. When I filmed that video, I fully thought I was going to put text on the thumbnail. I just ended up not doing it after, working with ChatGPT and going back and forth. And I actually took a screenshot of that thumbnail, put it into ChatGPT and said, what do you think of this? What text should I put on this? And it gave me options. And then I said, well, what do you think if I don't put text? And it said, as it always does, oh, Rob, that's a brilliant idea, right? So you have to be careful. Like ChatGPT can be a bit of a yes man and be very agreeable. So there you go. Anyway, that's a little bit of a backstory as to how I came up with that. Let me put this away and see what's going on in the chat for a second. I had watched a video the day before where you mentioned how to make thumbnails on Canva, and you mentioned white text on left upper corner, but you didn't. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so two things. Number one, I reserve the right to change my mind as time goes on. Number two, so there's three things. Number two, I fully believed that at the time and still do. And I'll tell you why. Basically, text on the upper right. So upper, because sometimes when a thumbnail is shown, depending on what people are watching YouTube on, they could be watching on a phone, on a tablet, on a computer, varying sizes of browsers. Like sometimes the title of the video is overlaid on top of the thumbnail at the bottom. And especially if it's a longer title, it might carry across 2, sometimes 3 lines. And if you have text behind that area, it's going to be hard to read if that text is covering it up. The other thing is in the lower right of a thumbnail often is the length of time that video is. 4 minutes and 5 seconds or whatever. That little timestamp will be on the lower right. That's why I typically don't put text in the lower right. That it's kind of a rule of thumb, and putting it up high versus down low. I mean, middle is fine, but often middle doesn't work for me if I am in the thumbnail and I am in the middle of the thumbnail. I don't, another rule of thumb is don't cover your face with text, right? You don't want to do that. So a lot of times it'll depend on the screenshot I'm using and where I am in the screenshot. And let me just go back here for one quick second. Rob, why did I close that tab? I just closed it, so I should have just left it open. So if I just look at a couple of ones here, this one here, okay? Why does it keep doing that? This one here, I'm just going to hover my mouse above it because as soon as I go over it, it starts playing. You Matter is the thumbnail text. It's at the top. It's over on the left. It's just above me. I centered it over my portion of that thumbnail, and I didn't cover up my face. This one here, I bucked the trend a little bit. The Quiet Season, I put it down at the bottom. So it's not being covered up by this timestamp. But again, depending on the device, like if someone's looking at this on a phone, that timestamp may be larger, right? It probably is larger. And the text might be across the bottom. In that case, I tried putting the Quiet Season, the text up above, like up here. That didn't seem to work because I was showing off this Christmas ornament. So in that case, I felt like I kind of had to put it down lower, below even my hand. Okay, so that's why it went there. This is typically where I put them, right? Upper left. Here I did it again. And in that case, I hid a little bit of the text behind me with that trick that I show on my Canva video. This one, the same thing. This one, I was centered and I thought, like every time is different. Like I think about all of these things individually. So like I also look at what other thumbnails have I been doing. So when I made this one, what were my previous thumbnails? Well, the one before that was text in the middle left. The one before that was the same thing. So 3 in a row, text on the left. I thought, you know what, let's make this one look a little different. Let's go right across the whole screen. So that you can do this. I could have put that you can do this right down the left side. So anyways, just a little bit inside my thought process when I'm trying to figure out how to do my thumbnails. So there you go. There you go. All right. Let me see what else we got. I'm just going to start scrolling now, see if we have any questions. Yeah, and if you do have a specific question, put 3 Qs in, just like Scott's saying here. Put 3 Qs in, and that way I'll be able to search for questions. But I'm going to do that shortly. I haven't done that yet. I'm still just going right through the comments linearly, chronologically, to see if there are any questions. Lady of the House, I recommended your channel the other day on my channel. I hope it gave you a bit of increase in subscribers. I appreciate that. Thank you. Actually, I think a couple of people did say that Lady of the House sent them over, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Steve Brocky, how you doing, Steve? Good to see you from a frosty Scotland. A little frosty here in New Scotland, too. Sorry if I missed the live. Watching now. You haven't missed anything. If you're here, we are live. Hello from Maryland. Evening, Steve. Hey, I'm from Argyle. Awesome. Guys, boop that like button. Very good. Yep, there's the link. If anyone wants any free stuff on my website, you can go right there. All right, let's see. I'm new to your live streams. Looking forward to learning more about you and your channel. Awesome. Ship to shore. Cruise news. That sounds fun. Your cat is adorable. Yes, she is, and she knows it. Just scheduled my Christmas Day video, a ghost story to go live in the evening. That's cool. That's a good idea. Very good. And kudos to you for scheduling so far in advance. Actually, the video I put out yesterday, I scheduled that on Saturday. 2 days in advance. That's the first time in, I'm going to say, a year that I've done that. Usually I finish a video and post it that day, or maybe the next day if I didn't finish till later. So I'm bad that way. But I finished the previous Saturday. I put a video out. It didn't do that great, which they don't usually do that great on the weekend for me. So I couldn't get that one done for Friday. And in fact, I didn't even try. I edited it on Saturday and then uploaded it and scheduled it and thought, because Monday was going to be busy anyways, so I thought, let's just have Monday's video's done. I can wait 3 days. But surprisingly, I have a hard time waiting. It's like, I got a video that could be out right now. People could be watching it, and I have a hard time with that, but I'll get over it. Macanudo Macrame, hello, good to see you. What is B-roll? There's a good question. B-roll is additional supporting video for your main video. So for example, in my videos, the A roll is me talking to the camera. When I'm talking to the camera and I'm telling my story through the camera, if I just use that as my video and didn't do any editing to it at all, that's the A roll, okay? Now, I usually do some editing to like clean some stuff up, or if I made a mistake that I want to delete, I'll get rid of that. That's still all called A roll. But then if I'm talking about something and I want to then show that something while I'm talking about it, I can cut to what's called B-roll. And it's called B-roll. It's just another video you put on top of your A-roll, like on the track above. And in video editing programs, anything put on a track above a lower track, the top track hides the lower track. And I'm going to show you that in a second, but that's what B-roll is. So like in yesterday's video, the A-roll was me talking to the camera with the lake behind me, and then I added some B-roll on top of that video of me walking down the trail, showing the river, things like that. So that's what B-roll is. Yesterday's video was very pretty and nicely made. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. You're new here. Welcome. Welcome. Always like having new people here. You were wondering about B-roll too. Awesome. Awesome. I hope that helped. Dan, the internet, I'm frozen? Uh-oh. That's not good. Hopefully that sorted itself out. It looks like everything's working okay here. And I know you probably said that 30 minutes ago, but I should probably speed up and here we go. Here's a quick little question I can answer. The Mrs. Robertson. When starting out, just to get used to making videos, what length do you recommend? If you just want to make a video to get used to making videos, I'd keep it, just a few minutes, less than 5 minutes. Start small like that, talking to the camera and telling a story or whatever it is you want to share, right? There's no point, if you're just practicing and just starting, keep it short, because then if you also want to edit that video, if the shorter it is, the quicker you'll be able to edit it, okay? So that's what I would suggest, definitely. Good way to practice. It's great to have these weekly live streams, and they're not going anywhere. We'll keep doing these as long as you guys keep showing up. First time live, I stumbled on your thumbnail video, followed your recommendations, and had the best video performance out of the gate yet. Awesome. Way to go, James. I'm glad you found that helpful. I was a bit loud. Okay, yeah, that's when I might be getting a little bit loud again. Not frozen here, Robin says. Awesome, good. Joanne has a sandy Christmas. You must be in the Southern Hemisphere somewhere. 3 Qs. Yep, that'll help. Rob's a great one to follow and get advice from. Appreciate that, Heidi. All right, let's see. I wish the snow would stay, not snow, then rain, then snow again. That's what we usually get. Snow, then rain, then snow, then rain. That's a typical winter here. Okay, I hope you can still see me. That looked like I disappeared. Can you guys still see me? Okay, and I pop back up. Oh, I might be having some internet issues here. Might be. Let me try a quick speed test. Go. Just show you what I'm doing. If you're still here, that is what I'm doing. Speed test. I'm getting 800 megabits per second download, which is fantastic, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the upload speed. If you ever want to live stream, it's the upload speed that you need. Mine's usually around 15. Okay, so that's a little lower than normal, and oh no, it's getting up there. But yeah, I'm wondering if the fact that I'm live streaming might be, it's limiting the amount of space that's left. Usually it takes around 6 megabits per second to do a live stream at 1080p, 30 frames per second. That's the kicker there. So, all right, what else we got here? Peanut knows the music. It means I'm going to start talking a lot. That's right. Hey, Rob, another Maritimer from St. John, living in Calgary, starting my own channel, camping in the Rockies with my dog and truck camper. That sounds cool. Welcome, fellow Maritimer. Awesome. Monkey Wrench is here from sunny Los Angeles. Welcome. Q-Roo Spanish. Hi, Rob. Not usually home this time to catch your live streams. This is a rare treat for me. And it's a treat for us, too, Q-Roo. Thanks for stopping in. All right. Last week you showed us your Christmas tree on the dock. Do your neighbors have something similar? Maybe use a picture of the lighted coastline. Well, they don't. Well, some people have some lights too, but this is actually the only dock right here. So they get to enjoy the tree too. But yeah, I could probably take some more videos of the neighborhood. All right. SM7B versus RE20. Thoughts? I don't know what an RE20 is. SM7B, is that a mic? Is that a mic? Shure by Shure? SM, or is that SM7V? I don't know. I've never used either one, so I can't really comment. All right, let's see what else we got. You know what? I should probably let me throw in some cues. Bring up some questions. Question: when you sign up for AdSense, do you have to give YouTube your SIN number? I don't remember. Social insurance, so SIN, you must, perhaps you're in Canada, because I think that's what they call it here in Canada. I think in the States it's called Social Security number. So it's a little different. But honestly, I can't remember. It probably depends on how you sign up. Like if you want to get paid, though, then you have to provide some information as to who you are. I just don't remember exactly what it is, but it should guide you through it. It'll tell you exactly what you need to provide. But you can sign up as either an individual, or if you have an incorporated company, and that's the way you want to run your channel, it's your company that would have to sign up. And like a company's SIN number is the business number. That's what it is here in Canada anyways. So hope you found that helpful. Yeah, you just kind of have to go through the steps and it'll tell you what you need to provide. It's been a few years since I actually signed up. I signed up for the partner program before I was eligible. You can do that. You can sign up before you're eligible. Then then you can basically cross a couple of the hoops, I guess. Is that a saying? I think I'm mixing up a couple of sayings there. Cross a couple T's, dot some I's, get the ball rolling so that you can start earning money quicker once you get there. Once you meet the requirements. Do you think changing up the format of videos is helpful for channel growth? Example, from talking head to listicle or vlog, but content is essentially the same, just delivered differently. Listicle, is that a typo or is that just a type of video that I have never heard of? I don't know, but I know what you mean by talking head and vlog. Okay, so, and sometimes vlogs are talking heads. Anyway, to answer your question, I think it's a great idea. Honestly, that is a perfect example. If you make videos the same way all the time, okay, same format, let's say, and you start growing a following, or even if you're not really growing a following, it's good to change it up just to see what happens, like see what people think. Actually, this is an example of what I was talking about 30 minutes ago or so. If you never try something different, you'll never know if it's a good idea or not. You're not going to hurt your channel by trying a video in a different format. It's an experiment. Last February, I made a video outside where I taught people how to tie a bowline. It's a sailing knot that I know how to do. And I just did it as a bit of an experiment. It was way outside the niche. It was still me, but it was me, teaching something completely different than what I normally talk about on my channel. But something I thought might be relatable because it kind of ties into my maritime background, right? And the video flopped, right? It did horribly. And I kind of expected that. But in the back of my mind, I also thought, well, you know what? This is a how-to video. That's something that could potentially go evergreen. If people are searching, how do I tie a bowline, right? Like YouTube is a perfect place to go to learn that. And, maybe I would pop up. Let's see if it does. How to tie a... Now, this might be biased because I'm doing this from within my account. But yeah, no, I didn't show up anywhere. So I just had to tie a bowline, and that's a great thumbnail. That's pretty, and it's only 1 minute and 18 seconds long. So yeah, my video was 6 or 7 minutes. So I get why people would, that video would do much better. That's got 14 million views too. So yeah, no, my video's not there. So anyway, so yeah, I tried something different. I didn't know what the answer was going to be, and I found out. But in the same breath, I personally like to change up my style of videos. There was a time when my channel really started to grow after I had that viral video last summer, like a year and a half ago. I did that sitting in this chair back here with Peanut behind me. That's how I made that video. And then I thought, I wonder if that's the reason it did so well. So for a few weeks, I did all my videos in that chair. And they did well, but started to do worse and worse and worse. And then all of a sudden I went outside and I did my first walk and talk video about a year ago. Well, September, I think it was, of 24. And then all of a sudden, it did well. It's because the people who are used to me and seeing my videos, they like my content. People who subscribe obviously like the content, right? And perhaps they want to see another side of me or me do something a little bit different and not the same old, right? And when they saw me outside walking, in the forest. It's like, wait now, where's the brown chair? Where's his cat? Is everything okay? I got to click and watch, right? So that's part of the psyche, I think. That's the way I think. I just like, how can I make this a little bit different that people are going to be interested, right? So I do think that way. So if I do a bunch in a row on the trail, I might think, you know what? I should do one in my backyard. I should do one on a boat, maybe. Or I should do one at the beach. Just change it up. And actually, yesterday's video was kind of the second video in a row where I've decided to add more B-roll and just to try to bring more story into my videos. I've known for a long time that I want to get better at telling stories and not just regurgitating information. So I put extra effort in yesterday's video to add a lot more B-roll, and that video has a different feel to it. It starts up with me. Well, let's go look at that. Let's close that. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you later. That's the how I made that video. But first, let's bring this down. Okay, why does that keep doing that? Okay, so this is the video, and that's the opening scene. This is the finished edited video, and you can see all the edits that I did down the bottom here. That's a lot. And for those who are wondering what B-roll is, well, A-roll is, let's just zoom in here in the beginning. This is the A-roll, and this is the audio for the A-roll. So if I hide that layer, okay, and this layer above there, so you can only see these two, now you can see what the A-roll was. And let me just play this for a little bit.
I didn't enjoy my time in corporate, I was going to say corporate America, but corporate Canada. I didn't enjoy my time at all. I went to school for...
Okay, I just play that much. Okay, so that is the A-roll. That's the video, and I shot that, or I recorded that. But then on top of it, let me just back up, and let's bring this back. Actually, I think that's just some audio noise that I used. And now let's just play this and see what you see. You don't see me anymore because I'm hiding myself with this B-roll.
I didn't enjoy my time in corporate, I was going to say corporate America, but corporate Canada. I didn't enjoy my time at all. I went to school for...
Okay, so basically that's B-roll. And if you notice, this B-roll is straight through all the way until here. And what's that? That's about a minute 45 into the video before you actually see me. So if I just scrub through this, there was B-roll. And just so you know how I made this, all these B-roll shots, so I had to walk down a path to get to the area that I wanted to record my story. Okay, that was by the lake. I know where that is. It's about a 2.5 kilometer or 1.5 miles away from my house, and I had to walk to that. But on my way there, I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to put B-roll in this video. I want to put B-roll in here. I want it to make, seem a little bit more like a story. So on my way there, I'm going to get my phone out and I'm going to record some things. So for example, this here, I would have ran ahead, placed my tripod in like off the side. I thought that was kind of cool, having some, some branches real close to the camera and then myself behind it. I didn't do anything in terms of focusing and telling it what to focus on or anything. All this was done with my iPhone, okay? All of it. Just this phone here, not this tripod, but a simple tripod. I used, it wasn't even that one. It was this one. It was this $20 tripod that I use. And if you watch the video, you'll notice there was a point in that video where the camera actually fell over, and that's because it was on this tripod. It's just a tall, skinny one, and it was kind of windy. Anyway, so I ran ahead, placed the camera, pointed it back, and then I walked back, and then I slowly walked towards the camera. And as soon as I passed the camera, right there, so at this point, so I cut out some sections there, right? In fact, I could probably show it to you. If I copy this and paste it, just that piece there, if I just stretch this, you can see exactly there. That's how long that clip was. And watch. Went back there. and then you can see the camera move. That's because at that point, I walked back to the tripod and then picked it up and then pointed it the other way. Okay, so that's what I had to do. Then you bring it in and you cut it up. So if I copy this section and put it up here, just to demonstrate so this effect here, I can extend this that way and this way. That's how much I recorded. So here, there, I only wanted to catch that part, me coming in frame. And then if I just play this all the way here, you can see at some point I turned around and came back. Right there, I came back. And picked it up and kept walking. All right, so that'll give you an idea as to how I actually filmed that. And now I just realized that I don't even think that's what you were asking. No, but I think I answered your question, Monkey Wrench. I do think it's a good idea to try different things. That's exactly what I'm doing, trying something different. Now, I tried a couple things different in this video. More B-roll, more of a story, but I also, again, did not put text on my thumbnail. So that's two things I did differently. So there you go. Which app do I use for editing? This is Camtasia. I've used Camtasia. It's not a very, popular one, but it's been around a long time. And yeah, I've been using it for, I think, over 10 years, because I used to use it to make, which again, I talked a little bit about in my video, but when I was making tutorial videos for companies, Camtasia is the software I used for that. It's really good at screen capture, recording, things like that. So Camtasia is what I use. All right, another question. What do you think about the longevity of YouTube? I struggle with committing because I don't want all my work to just be gone in 48 hours. Hope that makes sense. I'm not concerned with the longevity of YouTube. I don't think it's going anywhere. That said, it would not be a bad idea to keep a copy of everything you do. I do. Every video I've ever uploaded, I have a copy of. Not just the video, I have all my source files. So all of, like you just saw what I recorded, and then I cut it down for what I wanted actually in the video. Well, the raw recordings, I have all of those in a folder in that project file, and within the next week or two, it's still on my MacBook right now, but within the next week or two, I'll move that to my storage drive. So I keep all my work. If YouTube shut down tomorrow, it would take me some time, but I could get all my videos back up on another platform, I guess. But I don't think that's happening. Righty. I get more views on shorts sometimes with only 10 seconds to 2 minutes. Would editing other videos to make them longer be a good idea? Okay, so shorts, a lot of people compare shorts to long form videos, and it's not a fair comparison. Shorts are always going to get a whole lot more views than long form. That's just the way it works. And that they pay accordingly, right? Like if you earn $5 per 1,000 views in a long form video, you might get 5 cents, 5 to 10 cents per 1,000 views of a short, right? They're just, because people are scrolling through shorts real quick, right? They don't stick around for very long. So shorts that are longer than say 30 seconds, that's a long short. People don't, sad to say, people don't tend to watch, unless the video is really good, they're not going to want to watch a short that's longer than that. Whereas long form videos, if you have a long form video and it's say 4 minutes or less, that's a short long form video. It might increase the chances, or they might increase the number of views you get, right? For example, that when I showed you those videos of how to tie a bowline, and I saw one was done in 1 minute and 18 seconds. If I wanted to, so you have to take the creator out of it almost. When you're talking about how-to stuff, if I want to learn how to tie a bowline, like if I need to tie a bowline, right? I'm going to go to YouTube. And if I am presented with options, I got a 1 minute video or a 5 minute video, I'm watching the 1 minute video every time, right? If I look through it and it's not showing me everything I need to see, then I might move on to one that's maybe a little longer, or I'll look for another short one. It'll be a while before I go and watch a 7 minute video to learn how to tie a bowline, right? So, sorry, just one sec. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, no, not important. Okay, so, but your question was, would editing other videos to make them longer be a good idea? I'm not sure I understand that question, but what I will say is, I think it's a good idea to decide whether your channel is going to be primarily a short form channel or a long form channel. Not saying you can't have both. And I think it depends on your strategy, right? Like my strategy is long form. Long form. That is it. That is my strategy. I want to grow my long form YouTube channel. Doesn't mean I don't want shorts. Shorts can be a fantastic way to bring in new people to your long form videos, right? You can post short, and when I say shorts, I don't just mean on YouTube. It could be on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or anything like that too, right? That can work well as long as they're talking about the same things and they're in the same style. Like I think a really good, and I talk about this in my videos that are sponsored by Nexus Clips, is because that's a tool you can use to help with this. You can plug in your long form video and it will use AI to automatically find really compelling parts of your long form video and turn them into shorts and automatically put the captions in place. It's just super easy. Now, if you want a primarily shorts based channel, I don't think that's a tool for you because you could use any editing software to make something like that. It might be a good tool to add the captions, right? Because it does that so easy, but you may want to edit the actual video in your own video editing app first. I just think it's a good tool for those who don't want to spend a lot of time on shorts because their focus is on longs, like me. It's just a quick way to be able to do it. So yeah, you want to make that decision. What is your channel? Is it going to be long form? Like how do you want to grow it? What do you like to make? Shorts or long form videos? That's a question to ask too. Like what do you prefer to make? What type of content? That's really important. When 90% of YouTube channels have less than 1,000 subscribers, why do you think that is? That's easy because a lot of people are just starting, that for one, or there's also a lot of people who just quit. They don't have what it takes to do this. They get frustrated. They don't see the growth as quickly as they like. Some people will upload one video and that's all they ever do, right? There are people who love the idea of YouTube, but when it comes right down to it, they start making videos. It's like, this sucks. Like, man, it took me 5 hours to edit this. Like, I don't want to do that. If people run into that, right? And they'll discover, wait a second now, maybe I don't want to do this. Maybe I'd rather just have a job and work for somebody else or start another business, right? YouTube is not the only online business either that you could do. So that's why there's it is easy to start a YouTube channel. Anybody can set up a YouTube channel today. You just need an email address. Boom, set it up. And anybody can film and upload a video. You could do that today too. From never having done anything with YouTube, you can start this morning, and by the end of the day, you've got a channel, you've got some artwork on it, and you've got a video or two on your channel. You can do that in a day. Not a problem if you put your mind to it. People have done that and decided they don't want to do it anymore, and they don't. So, but then still, there's other people who will grow. They'll work hard at it for a long time, and it just not grow for them. So they give up. So that happens a lot. It's not just luck either. Like when I say it doesn't happen for them, that's probably not the best way to put it. It's usually because, how do I want to put this? Kind of ties back into the whole decision making thing. Like you have to be somewhat creative. Not everybody is. You have to have some ideas. You have to have a focus on helping people, I believe, if you want it to grow. And there's a lot of people who don't. A lot of people think, and I'm not talking about you guys, because I know you guys don't think this way, but a lot of people think, I can just start a YouTube channel and put up a video about me going for a boat ride, and that's it. There's no plot. I'm not going to help anybody with anything. I'm just going to show off my boat, right? People will make a video like that. And I have a drone. I'm going to send that up in the sky, and I'm going to take a drone shot of this island. I think that's cool. That's a cool island. and that's a cool drone shot of that island. I'm going to put that on YouTube. People are going to love that. Well, why? Why would people even want to watch that? Right? So, but a lot of people think that just because, and if you follow me on this, I have a drone. I've never used any drone footage in any of my videos. I plan to someday. But I'll tell you, when I got the drone like 2 years ago, I was excited. This is cool. And I've seen drone videos and I can make all that. This is going to be neat. And, you know, if I look back at some of the things that I've made, they're awful. Like, I feel like drone shots are good supporting video, great for B-roll, for instance. But when I first saw the videos that I made with the drone, I was enthralled. It's like, that is so cool. That's a cool vantage point, like looking down at my house from up there. That's pretty cool. Everybody else must think that's cool too, right? No, no, that's, you know, you really have to try to step away from your own surroundings and really try to understand what it is people want to see. I think very few people just want to watch a video because the scenery is beautiful. You know, maybe I think people would rather go to that place. Maybe people want to travel there. And if people are traveling somewhere, maybe they want to look at videos ahead of time to see what they might be in for. But, you know, generally people just don't want to watch other people, you know, living their life. Generally, some, you know, there's exceptions, but for the most part, they're just not interested. Like, I could go look up drone shots of islands on the internet and find probably thousands, right? You know, a specific video on YouTube that has that in it is not necessarily going to move the needle for me. I don't care if it's somebody's video or what. So, anyways, I've gone down another rabbit hole, but I think I've answered the question. What do you recommend for simple software to edit video for my beginner editing? What do you recommend for a simple software to edit video for a beginner editing my videos? I'm always going to recommend Camtasia because I think it's super easy to learn. So there's that. You can look at Camtasia. I hesitate to recommend DaVinci Resolve because it can be pretty complicated. It's a steeper learning curve, but there is a free version of that. And if you get used to using the free version of that, maybe someday you might want to upgrade to the paid version, although the free version does, you know, everything that 95% of people would ever need. And more. It does a whole lot of complicated things, but you know, there's a lot of room for growth if you really get into it. So there's that one, and there's others. I mean, some people like to use CapCut. You know, I've toyed with that, but I don't use that. There's Filmora. There's Final Cut Pro. Is, you know, you spend money for that one, or Premiere Pro, but they can be difficult to learn. Oh, someone just says DaVinci Resolve 20 paid is what I use for my videos. Very good. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's very powerful. Very powerful indeed. Question, if you choose not to make shorts, will it hurt your growth on YouTube? No, not at all. It won't hurt. You know, it's just another way that you may be able to drive a little extra traffic your way, right? But it's not even that. It's more, I think of it more as being good for branding, right? Like if you already have a long form channel, you make long form videos, if you want to maybe periodically show up in front of your audience at times when they're not watching long form videos, like let's say they're relaxing outside in a chair and they're just kind of doom scrolling through YouTube shorts. If you pop up there, they might think, oh, right, there's Jen again, right? Cool. I'll have to check out one of her videos next time I'm watching long form, right? So branding, it just kind of keeps you top of mind. But if you choose not to do shorts, that's totally fine. Hi, Rob. Been following you for a while, and I appreciate the valuable information you share. Someone told me that YouTube favors YouTubers from first world countries significantly. True? I wouldn't think that's true. I don't know that YouTube favor. I mean, YouTube, I guess what you want to think about is, I'm thinking about advertisers, right? Like people who watch videos who are in poorer countries, they won't have the ability to buy as much from advertisers who advertise. So advertisers may not want to advertise as much in those countries as, say, first world countries, right? So that's the only thing I can think of that might cause there to be a bit of a difference. But yeah, no. Let me just read this again. YouTube favors YouTubers. Yeah, no, I don't. Again, the whole ad thing might play a part, I suppose. But if regardless of where a YouTuber is, if they make good content that people want to watch, they can be successful. Now, when I'm thinking, like, there are other factors at play, right? Like language. If you don't speak the language that people speak that you want to reach, that might impact things as well, right? So there's a whole bunch of factors at play. I don't think there's anywhere that directly says if you're not in a first world country, you're not going to be as successful. I don't think that's true. But if anybody else has a different take on that, I'd love to hear it. I haven't been asked that question before, so thank you. Just want to say have a great Christmas. I won't make your next live daughter's birthday. Well, that's a pretty feeble excuse, Steve. I'm joking, of course. Happy birthday to your daughter. And Merry Christmas to you in Old Scotland. How long did it take to live off the income you make off YouTube AdSense, coaching, etc.? I'm going to say I've been full-time at this for a year. And I've been monetized for a year and a half. So, right? If I was only earning from AdSense, that would not be a full-time income. So that's anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 a month is where I'm at right now with AdSense, or even as low as $2,000. So it varies quite a bit. But yeah. So that. But again, it's hard to draw parallels. That's just me. This is one example. People are all over the place with this. Some people, I know somebody who had a video go viral and got millions of views. And they made a whole bunch of money off of that, just AdSense, right? So, but most successful creators make most of their money not through AdSense, but other ways, business that they run alongside of it. Trying to find my niche, and I'm stuck doing entertainment as a country radio personality, but every creator says you can't make any money. Your view? Stuck doing entertainment as a country radio personality. So, yeah, I don't know really anything about that. Every creator says you can't make any money. Well, yeah, I'm not. Are you just talking about that specific niche? The entertainment as a country radio personality. Yeah, again, like I've mentioned before, I tend not to rely on entertainment value to drive my business because I don't particularly think I'm entertaining. As you grow a channel, maybe some people will think you're entertaining, I suppose, but at the root of what I'm doing is being helpful to people, and that sounds different than what you're wanting to do. So I do think it would be harder as a country radio personality. I think, to me, that sounds harder. Now, to you, it might not be, right? But still, I would want to think about what else could you do if that is what you're making videos about. What else could you offer to people? That's the way I think, and I would have a hard time coming up with something. What are you using for live stream? Native YouTube? No, I'm using Ecamm Live and on my MacBook Pro. Is what I use. That allows me to set up the scenes and display these chat messages. I love Ecamm. What do you recommend for starting to go live? Do's and don'ts. Well, if you're just starting, you don't have to start with like an Ecamm Live or a program like what I use. You could just start with YouTube Studio and go live natively, right? And you can do it from your computer or from your phone. If you go live from your phone, you need 50 subscribers to do that. If you go live from your computer, there is no such requirement. You can go live with 1 subscriber if you want, or probably 0. But what do I recommend? Think about what you want to talk about in your live stream. I recommend doing that. Be prepared to talk. Be prepared to talk to nobody for as long as you want. Think about how long you want your live to be, and then think about something you can talk about for that length of time, and assume nobody's going to show up. Now, some people may show up, but some people may not. Usually people don't with your first one. So some things you can do to try to drive more traffic to your live is, if you're making videos, like just regular videos, maybe a weekly video or 1 or 2 videos a week, whatever, I would put right in those videos, advertise that you're going to go live. Like, I'd probably say it towards the end of the video. Like, I'm not a big fan of ads at the beginning of a video. It's more towards the end. And typically towards the end of your video, the people that make it that far are the people who are interested in what you have to say. So perhaps then is a good time for you to let them know, you want to learn more, you want to hear more from me? I'm going to be talking about how I made this video, right, on Tuesday's live stream. So stop in. I go live every Tuesday, right? However you want to say it, you can advertise your live stream in your videos. So that's what I would suggest. And we've got a super chat. Thank you very much. Super chat from the real Winston Churchill. Are you, though? Are you the real one? Hello, Rob. What's the best way to get money on YouTube after AdSense? Is it sponsorships, affiliates, or do you have to create a product or a course? So there's no right answer to that. For some people, depending on what your channel's about. Now, for some people, it's affiliate revenue, right? Like, I'm thinking, I know channels where they go live and they talk about, the products in Amazon and the products that they're buying for Christmas or whatever, and this is why I like this and this is why I like that. It's almost like a let's shop together kind of thing, and they'll include links down below. I've never done anything like that, but some people do, and they probably make a bunch of money through affiliate revenue. Another way to earn through affiliate revenue that could be lucrative is if you partner up with a company that has a really lucrative affiliate program. Like, you don't have to just go through Amazon. You can go through whatever, like Canva or vidIQ, or I don't know. I'm just like, think about the software that you use or the products or services that you use. That's a good place to start thinking about what you may want to promote, because you kind of want to promote stuff that you believe in and that you use yourself. It works better that way. It builds trust too with your audience, right? So that's one way, affiliates. For me, I don't make a ton of money. I mean, I shouldn't. I make some, but it's less than 5% of my revenue comes from affiliate sales. Sponsorships, again, that could be lucrative. That depends on how large your channel gets. They typically look at how many views you get, how many subscribers you have, and things like that. Views are the most important thing. But every brand deals with that a little bit differently too. So that could be very lucrative. And then what else did you mention here? Product or course. So that's kind of the way I went. Product and course. And at first I thought products, like courses, video-based courses, because again, I have a background in making tutorial type videos. So I know how to make those fairly easily. So I can make them, easily. So I can easily make a course. And if I can make a course teaching people how to do things, that's pretty much what I've been doing on my channel anyways. Certainly the earlier years, right? So I started off with that, and then I've since gotten into more coaching, right? So there's coaching. There's also consulting, right? Just one-on-one consulting. I had somebody ask me today or yesterday if they could pay me to set up a channel for them and create their channel banner and their avatar and just get everything set up for them. And so I don't do that. I don't do that for other people, so I declined. But that's an example of something you could do, right? That's consulting. You're working for somebody. Another example, right? So it really depends on what you want to do. You want to look at your channel. What's your channel about? Or maybe you're not even that far yet. Maybe you want to start with the business idea and then think about what kind of videos you can make to support that. Might be a better way to look at it, right? So yeah, some channels make, so for me, it's courses and coaching together. That's the bulk of my income. For other people, it is AdSense, particularly if it's just, I shouldn't say just, if it's entertainment type videos like comedy skits, funny things like that, right? The bulk of their earnings would come from AdSense, I would imagine, unless they also offer merchandise. If they're very well-known people, that's one I didn't mention. You could also have merchandise as a revenue stream. You know, design a logo and sell T-shirts or hats or something, mugs or something like that, right? Mouse pads. Anyway, there you go. All right. How are we doing for time? 3:20. So we still got 40 minutes. We're good for time. Should I start in a few languages? I speak at least 3. I wouldn't, only because I think that's just going to be a lot of work. It's hard to grow a YouTube channel, and you would probably have to grow 3 if you wanted to, make videos in all 3 languages, because you wouldn't put those all on the same channel probably, because how many people out there speak 3 languages, right? Probably not many. And yeah, I know there's some, obviously, but I don't. I speak one fairly well, and then one other one hardly at all, and that's it. But so you have to think of your audience. Like, who's your audience? If your audience is primarily speaking English, then you should make English videos for them. If you want to make a video that kind of shows that you also speak 2 other languages and you want to speak some of those languages in a video, I would still primarily probably make the video English and then add English subtitles in the areas where you're speaking those other languages. You could do that. But for the other 2 languages, you'd probably want to start a different channel in those languages, because, again, when you come out with another video and it goes out to all your subscribers of your channel, if they're all English speakers and you publish a French video, they're not going to watch it. So then YouTube is going to think, oh, this must not be a very good video. Nobody, not even their subscribers, are watching it, so we're not going to push it out at all. Whereas if that was on a dedicated French channel, it might do much better. But yeah, I think if you want to eventually get to a point where you have 3 separate channels in 3 different languages, I would still start with one. Start with the one you think you can grow the easiest. Probably the language you speak the best. After 6 months of posting weekly with low views, do you think pivoting or changing up format is wise, or should a person wait until a year or post more frequently? I wouldn't wait. I would. Yes, you can post more frequently, and yes, you can change it up and try a little pivot here and there. Just try something new. Try to spark some interest with your viewer base, right? By giving them something different. Don't give them something they're expecting. Give them something they're not expecting. Try to think that way, and you might come up with an idea. But I wouldn't just wait, because to me, waiting is that's status quo, and nothing's changing. And if views are declining, they'll probably continue to decline. So I think YouTube is probably waiting for you. Sorry, no, that's a bad way to put it. Your viewers are waiting for you to give them something fresh and something new. Perhaps in a different format than they're used to. How long should a video stay in private mode before you make it public on YouTube? It doesn't have to stay private for any time at all. You can upload it and make it go public right away if you want, as long as your thumbnail and description and all the stuff is ready. Make it go public right away. You don't have to wait. YouTube doesn't start testing your video until it's public. Okay? So because they test it on real people, they put impressions of your video out there, and they see how people are reacting to it. Are they clicking or not? Or if they do click, are they watching it all, or are they just leaving right away? Right? Those are the tests that YouTube starts as soon as your video goes public, and they can't start those tests until it goes public. Hello, new to your channel. I just found you today. Welcome. Love the videos I have seen. I have a lot of ideas, but I hear you should stick to one niche when you start. Does it really matter in the beginning? Yes. And no. Lately, I've been thinking that a good strategy might be, like, if you don't know where you want to start, if you have too many ideas, but you're not quite there yet in terms of your skill set, storytelling, editing, all that stuff. You got a lot of stuff you got to work on to get better at, and you have all kinds of ideas, right? In that case, a good place to start might be with just a practice channel. You can set up a channel, practice channel, and just make videos about whatever it is you want to make. And every time you make a video, it's a new video, and it's more experience. You've learned some things. You can even look at the analytics, see how it does, right? But once you're ready to grow a channel, then you need to get clear on who you're going to be making videos for. I mean, people like to use the word niche. You got to settle on a niche. A better way to look at it is you have to settle on a group of people that you're making videos for. Like define this avatar, right? This ideal viewer. You know, you have to almost kind of create them. Who is my ideal viewer? Well, I think they're men, and I think they're between 50 and 65 years old. And, you know, they're looking for financial advice. Maybe they've just lost a job, right? Like, try to define who it is you're making videos for. And then once you get that clear, brainstorm some video ideas. How can you help that person that you've defined? How do you help them? What do they need help with? What is a pain point that you can help them solve? And then that should guide you in coming up with title ideas and topic ideas to make videos about. And all your videos should be to try to help that one small group of people. That's your niche. That's how you grow a channel. If you then make a video that is outside of that niche, like let's say you're making these financial advice videos, and then all of a sudden you go on a fishing trip, and you caught this amazing big fish, and you got video of it, and you want to make a video about your trip to the river, and you caught a fish, and you make a video about it, and you put that on that same channel, chances are it's going to flop. It's going to do horribly, because the people who subscribe to you aren't there for the fish. They're there for the financial advice. They don't care about a fish, right? So, but even worse is that you're starting to confuse YouTube now. YouTube started to think, okay, they're trying to reach these financial people. Yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of this. Give me another financial video. Here you go. Yep, they like that too. Give me another financial video. What, a fish? Okay, we'll try that. Fish video. No, crickets. Nothing. Okay, now YouTube's thinking, who is he trying to make videos for? All right, here comes another financial video. Was it fish? Let's try it with the fish people. No, they don't like that. Right? So now YouTube's getting confused. They don't know who your audience is. So that's why you want to stick to a niche. If you want to make financial videos and fish videos, 2 channels. Or if you don't know what you want to make videos about, practice channel. Just an idea. I haven't even really flushed that out. I didn't do that. But just something I think might be a good idea to try. I missed a super chat. I'm going to acknowledge real Winston Churchill right now. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And you had a question. Made over 24 million views in 1 year, posting World War II gaming shorts. Okay, 24 million shorts views. But my videos struggle to get to 1,000 views, even though I have 6,800 subs. Also, thanks for the previous answer. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of clear. If I can find your, here, let me scroll down, put your question on screen. Where'd it go? Right there. Yeah, it looks like real Winston Churchill. So, yeah. So you got a lot of views from shorts. A lot of views from shorts. And it looks like you got a lot of subscribers from your shorts too. 6,800 people want to see more World War II shorts. Right? Let that sink in. 6,800 people want to see more World War II shorts from you. They don't want to see long form videos from you. So that's why you're not getting many views. You've grown a shorts channel. And that's kind of why I like, if you want to grow a long form channel, you stick with the long form videos, and you can do shorts every once in a while, but you got to be careful. The shorts really need to match up with the content you're doing in your long form videos. Otherwise, if you're making World War II long form videos and then you make a funny cat video that's a short that blows up and gets 20 million views and you get a whole bunch of subscribers from that, they're not looking for the World War II stuff. They're looking for more cats. So, that might hurt your long form video if the two types of videos, shorts and longs, don't match up well. Okay? Now, but I kind of went reverse to what you were saying. You made, World War II shorts, and your 1,000 views that you're getting on your long form videos. No, I don't know what they're about, but if they're not like the shorts, then that would be why people aren't watching them. Well, the other thing is too, you've gotten subscribers from shorts, okay? They may not even watch long form videos, right? It's a different audience. Like they may just watch shorts. There's people that only watch short form content. They don't watch long form content. So that's what you've tapped into. So depending on what your long form video is, you could try to switch it up and try a few things. Like try to make some short versions of your longs, say, and try to entice some more people over to the long form side. But if not, you may want to consider starting a long form channel that's separate, that only does long form stuff, and keep your short form content separate on its own channel. Just a thought, something to think about. All righty. How we doing? Still got 28 minutes. For those who are channel members, I'm doing an after party after this at the top of the hour. I'm going to have a members only live stream for 30 to 60 minutes or so, depending on how many questions you have. But I have a hard stop at 5 o'clock my time, 4 o'clock Eastern. Let's see now. I know I've missed a lot of questions, but hope you guys understand. Do a lot of bouncing around. Question, I have long videos with 3 views or 0 views, yet shorts have 98,000. What am I doing wrong? Oh, 220 subs. 227 subs. So similar to what I told the last person, sounds like it sounds like your subs, I'm guessing, probably came from your shorts. So you're basically growing a shorts channel, not a long form channel. They are different. Again, my strategy tends to be like stay away from the shorts until you're getting your feet wet with the longs, and then only do shorts to support the longs. If you want to build a shorts channel, that's something different, and it's not really it's not my expertise. Building just a shorts channel, it's not something I've done. Again, the only shorts I do are very easily done and just to support what I'm doing in my long form videos. So long form first, shorts later to support the longs, but have to be on brand, have to be about the same thing. So yeah, I guess, so what are you doing wrong? I mean, 98,000 short. If you want to grow your long form, so I mentioned to the previous person that they could start another channel for just their long forms and just don't do shorts on that, at least until you're established. But you could also privatize your shorts, right, and turn your channel into a shorts or into a long channel, and that might help it too. But yeah, no, I guess the proper answer is just get better at making long form videos and keep practicing on making those. Stop doing the shorts and just focus on getting better at making long form videos. They can be short long form videos, like film them widescreen. They can be 2 minutes long if you want. They don't have to be long. They can be a minute or less even. As long as you film it horizontally, it goes up as a regular video, a long form video. But that's what I would do. Focus your attention on that. Selfie stick recommendation. So I like to recommend this one. I bought it, I use it, I love it, except the wind blows it over. It did that to me in my last video. It doubles as a tripod that you can then extend, right? Goes pretty long. It stands up. Well, not super tall, but anyway. And this is what I use when I make my outdoor videos. I collapse it down to about this size here, and I will put, well, I'm not going to do it now, but put my phone on it here, and I make my videos like this. Just hold it like a selfie stick. And then if I want to do some B-roll of me walking down the trail, I'll extend this, set up the tripod, put it in the woods, and film what I want to film. That's only 20 bucks. It's by Yukos, and I have a link in my description about that. Or $22 or something like that, US. Oh, got another super chat. A simple hello from Russ Rockin' Railroad. Hi, Robin Peanut. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I hope I didn't miss any other super chats. Let's see. All right. What else we got here? Question, is showing the questions from chat a feature of YouTube Live? No, it's not. You can't do that in YouTube Live. I do it in Ecamm Live. Ecamm has that feature. StreamYard has that feature as well. You could try that. I think Restream may do that as well. Not 100% sure. Riverside may do it as well. But yeah, I use Ecamm Live. And yeah, it pulls in a feed of, well, I'll show you. I press the right button here. Okay, so this is my iPhone. If I turn this around, so this is my Ecamm Live right there on my MacBook. Okay, and you can see all the chats coming in here. And I can just click one. Right, if I click one here, it shows up. Click it again, it goes away. Those chats are being pulled in from here. This is YouTube Studio. Okay, so this one I can see what the current chat is. Over here, you can see here that I'm not, can you see this? I'm not all the way at the bottom. Because I'm just going through, I'm searching for QQQ up here, and so that's how I'm doing that. So anyway, that is how I'm doing that. Ecamm Live. I love it. Question, some of my videos have a higher CTR with way less views than others with a low CTR. Any idea why? Could be any number of things. It could be the content, right? Just because you have a high CTR doesn't necessarily mean the video is going to do well. It's a start. It's a good thing, but consider this too. How do you get a high CTR? Some people think you got to make clickbaity titles or thumbnails, thumbnails that are promising the world, right? And you click on that, and then you go to the video. If you get to the video and the video itself doesn't fulfill the promise that was made in the thumbnail, you may get some viewers upset at that, and they might just think, what was that thumbnail all about? That was just clickbait. They're not delivering on that, and they may not watch, right? Or they might give a thumbs down, right? Negative signals to YouTube signifying that's a bad video. So in that case, high CTR might mean bad video. I can say my best performing video ever did not have a great CTR at all. It was just a picture of me sitting in that chair. Do this now was the text on the thumbnail. It's small, thin. It wasn't even bold text. The CTR wasn't that great, but that video has close to 500,000 views. And the reason is because once the people who actually did click, once they got in, they liked the content and they watched it all, and they rewatched some parts. I had some bloopers at the end that people loved. They rewatched that. So yeah, low CTR, but they got in there and, okay, I like this video. And then maybe even they click to watch another one of my videos, right? That's another positive signal. They may have left a comment, positive signal, thumbs up, another positive, right? So that's an example of a low CTR video might still do very well. Lucia, hi Rob, how to make pre-recorded YouTube videos where you share your screen and show yourself talking, picture-in-picture or split screen. What is the most common and beginner-friendly solution? Pre-recorded YouTube videos where I share my screen. Okay, so like tutorial videos. The way I do it, so there's different ways to do this, and I've tried it many different ways, but here's what works the best for me. If I'm going to record something when I'm sharing my screen, there are 3 things I record, and I record them all separately. One is the camera. This camera right here, I record that to the SD card on the camera. The second one is the mic. It's up here. It's plugged into my computer. I record that into Adobe Audition. You can use any audio recorder to record that. Audacity is a free one you could use. So that's the audio. And the third bit is the screen. So if I'm going to teach something, I want to record my screen, I have a couple options. I have 3 screens here. But what you want to do is, it's helpful if you have at least a second monitor. So on that second monitor, you can dedicate that to whatever it is you want to share and record the screen using a screen recorder. The one I usually use is OBS. I could also use Ecamm Live. I don't know why I don't, just because I've always used OBS for that. But Ecamm will also record your screen. Camtasia has a screen recorder built into that. I don't tend to use that one. I just find OBS easier. So I press start on all 3 of those things, and then I make my video. I record myself. I make a lot of mistakes, but I don't ever stop any recording. I go all the way through it. I'll spend some time in the beginning talking to the camera, recording my intro, and I may have to say a couple sentences more than once, right? And then when I get into the actual tutorial part, it's more, okay, I'm focused on if it's this screen or if it's this screen, whatever, and I'll look up at the camera every once in a while describing what I'm doing. So that all gets captured, and then obviously the audio as well. So when I'm finished, I don't tend to make those types of videos very long, but when I finish, I stop all 3 things, and then I save them. I bring them all into a project folder that I create for that video, and then I bring them all into my favorite video editing app. So you can use whatever you use. I use Camtasia. Some people use DaVinci, whatever you want to use. And you sync all 3 things up by the audio. I put the audio on the lowest track, like the microphone audio, and then I put the screen share on the next track up, and I put my camera on the top track, because for my camera, I want to crop myself in, round the edges, and move it down to the corner, right? And I want that to be on top of the screen share part, which is underneath that. And then on the screen share part of it, I usually want to stretch that a bit, because I don't usually want to capture like the Chrome tabs at the top or anything else like that. You might want to crop that in a little bit, depending on what you grabbed or what you recorded, okay? And then you just edit it all the way through, making sure that whenever you make an edit that you're cutting all 3 things. So in your editing software, you may want to group all 3 things together at that point, once it's synced by the audio. Oh, I missed a step. When you sync all 3 things by the audio, delete the bad audio. Like I keep this good audio from this mic up here. I delete the audio that OBS captured from the screen, and I delete the audio that this camera captured from its mic, because it's not good. Now, depending on what I'm sharing on my screen, let's say I play a video there that has audio, right? For those moments, I may want to keep that part of the screen share audio. So that gets a little more complicated, but that'll give you a general idea of how I do that. You can tell that those videos take longer to make, and that's why I tend to make those videos shorter, because they take a while to make. Anyway, I hope that helps. And I missed a super chat. I'm going to make good on that right now. Purple Room Tech, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. And you had a question, which was, how did you decide to get into coaching, and how does that even work? Also, did you miss the question from Anthony on drums super chat? Uh-oh, I must have. I'll look for that next. How did I decide to get into coaching? People asked me for it. Quite honestly, I'm going to say that was October or November of last year. So that wasn't my ultimate plan. I really never knew where this whole thing was going. In my mind, I'm thinking that my extra income over and above AdSense was going to be making courses, video-based courses on how to do everything you need to do to make a channel, how to edit videos, how to whatever, all these things, right? That was my plan. But the more I made videos and the way my channel evolved and the way these live streams tended to go, me answering questions and whatnot, I had people reach out to me, say, I want more. Like, can I pay you for an hour of your time, and can we have a Zoom call? That's how it started. People started suggesting I do that, and I talked to other creators as well who suggested, yeah, you should be offering that. So again, it was last October, I think, or early November, that I got a Calendly account and a Zoom account. I actually had never used Zoom. And I set it up and put a price to it, and I started getting people signing up. And when they started, what was I? Not when they started, but what ended up happening was I ended up loving that. Like, the whole interaction with the people one-on-one in a Zoom call was pretty cool. And I was able to help people much more like in an hour than, maybe not being able to answer your question here in the live chat, in the live chat, live streams. So that's how it started. Okay. And how does that even work? So how it works is you don't even need a website. If you want to sell coaching or consulting, Zoom calls, one-on-one time with yourself, you need a payment processor set up so you can accept money. People can pay you, or maybe even just a PayPal account is all you need. So there's that. And then a calendar would be helpful, a way for people to book a time with you into your calendar. So I use Calendly. That syncs with my Google Calendar, which I use for my day-to-day. And in Calendly, I can set up when I'm available, but my Google Calendar can override that. Like, if I'm normally available on, like, say a Friday afternoon, but I know on a specific Friday afternoon I'm not going to be available, I put that in my Google Calendar, and then that will take those spots away from my Calendly, and people won't be able to book me for them. Right? So it's pretty cool the way that works. And then people will click that, book a time, make the payment, and then when that time comes, they automatically get an email sent to them by Zoom or by Calendly. I can't remember how I set it up. But yeah, that's how it works. Anthony on drums. All right. I'm going to search for his name. And I spelled it wrong. Anthony on drums. Super chat. Here we go. I am so sorry. Here's your recognition, super chat. Thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate that. And your question was, how would you suggest shooting videos and releasing them? Do you shoot in batches and then release? Or is it a one-by-one, shoot and release? There are pros and cons to both ways. And I've done it both ways. But I currently like doing one at a time. Batch recording, batch editing, batch uploading, and then releasing one by one, that is a good learning experience. If you're editing a bunch of videos in a row, you'll get better at editing. That's like good practice. Same with the filming a bunch in a row, uploading a bunch in a row, right? That's all good. But what I found, so September of 2024, I went through, I think the first half of that month, I made a video every single day. I think it was 12 days in a row I went with making videos. And some of those days, I remember one of the days I filmed 5 videos. I went out for a walk and came back with recordings of 5 videos. I then edited them all and then put them out over the next several days. What ended up happening is all of my attention wasn't on any one video. Probably most of my attention was on the first one, but by the time I got to the 5th one that I recorded that day, my brain was kind of spinning all these topics in my head. And, you know, I feel now like each video deserves your full attention if you want it to be a good one. That'll increase the chances of it being a good video if you give it your undivided attention, all of your attention. When I make 3 videos in a week, that's hard to give all of your attention to 3 videos in a week. But if I, like yesterday's video was my first video in, I think, 6 days, so a week. It's a long time for me. I usually average 2 videos a week. It's going to be 1 a week for the foreseeable future, I think. But when I have a whole week, that's a lot of extra time to think about how I want to make a video. And it just gets that little extra attention. And that results in that video doing I was going to say a little bit better. What a little extra attention could result in a video doing a lot better. Okay? Because it's super important. Like the editing, like you need to keep people watching your video. So whatever you can do to make that happen, tighten up your edits in the intro, for instance. Right? Get a little cinematic with some B-roll if you want in the intro. Like you want to hit them with all this stuff more in the beginning to try to keep people watching, right? So yeah, I don't think I'm going to do any batch recording anytime soon because of that, unless I'm building a course or something, because that's different. So 1 by 1 is what I recommend. And I apologize for missing that super chat. Sometimes I just go on a ramble and I just don't stop. But that's not your guys' fault. All right, I'm just looking at the current. I've got about 9 minutes until we're going to flop over to the members live stream. Let me just look at the current chat here. Have you done KDP books or PDF content? Your YouTube channel traffic can be diverted to your KDP bookshelf. Any comments? Do you know if other YouTubers have done that? Other thoughts on KDP? I have done a KDP book like a while ago. It didn't do very well, but I have some. But as far as redirecting traffic into your shelf and all that stuff, I don't have really any experience with that. Not meaningful experience, anyways. Only enough to know what it is. Kindle Direct Publishing. I mentioned that actually in yesterday's video. That is a viable revenue stream for those of you who want to write a book and get published on Amazon. You can do that. You can make a Kindle, right? It can be a digital copy. You can make it available in paperback if you want. You can even create an audiobook if you want, and put links to it in your YouTube description. So maybe that's your product. You make a book. You're very proud of it and you want to sell it. Then make videos. They don't have to necessarily be about the book, but if the book is helping people with something, your videos could help people with the same thing. And in your video, you could say, and if you want more information about this, I actually wrote a book. I'll leave you a link in the description below for that, and you can save, use a discount code, blah, 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 whatever, however you want to do it. You can totally do that. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, got another super chat. Graciela. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Great live. YouTube gave me voice option to answer messages. So cool. So I use it a lot. I'm a testing dummy. As always, love from Melbourne, Australia. Awesome. Yeah, no, I've noticed that voice thing. I've not used it yet, but I do have access to it when I'm on my phone. I usually answer most of my comments here in my office. Not on my phone, but if I'm out for a walk or something. Right now, it's hard to walk on the trail because there's snow on it. But yeah, no, that's cool. You can now answer comments with your voice. Like you record your voice and send a voice. So I should probably do that. See what all the fuss is about. See how it works. How many hours do you recommend doing weekly to reach 4,000 watch hours? That's a really hard question to answer. You know, some people, yeah, it's hard. It could be anywhere from 1 to 70 hours a week, right? It really depends on your content, how much time you have to devote to it, how much effort you put into it, what your videos are about. I mean, it's impossible to answer that question. Oh, Jason said, I commented the other day on a video. The creator replied in a voice note. It was cool. Awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Question from Penny. How often is the members live stream? That is a good question because they were about every 2 weeks. It's been, I think, about a month since the last one, but this is the last one for the foreseeable future. I've just got too much going on in the coaching side of things. I have to update that part of it on YouTube, the whole join and membership thing. All I can say, well, it's even hard to say that too. What I'd like to say is people who join as a member, that they would get, priority over me answering questions here in the regular live chat, but there's really no way for me to do that. I can see, if I'm looking at this side, I can see who is a member because your name would be bolded, in bold, but I don't see that here on the eCam side. So I have to put some thought into what I'm going to do, but I don't, the members, maybe every once a month or so I might be able to do it, but I have meetings tonight, so I'm not going to be able to do it. I need a little bit of time to eat, but I've been promising this next members only live for a couple weeks now, so I'm going to make good on that today. Okay. Kipping, long-time watcher, first-time commenter, welcome. I have published my first 4 videos, and I feel like my titles and descriptions are not great. Tried to use ChatGPT and picked what sounded best to me. Any tips? My biggest advice would be to stop worrying about those ones now, because you've settled on a title, you published them, YouTube did their testing on it, perhaps your videos didn't do that great, whatever, move on to your next video, right? And try something else with your next video. My advice with ChatGPT, I mean, I use it too for titles, but I don't usually settle on what they choose first, right? Like, I've got a pretty good feel for what I like in a title, and think of your title and your thumbnail together. The two of them work together. It's a package. That is what people are going to see when they decide if they're going to click or not, if they want to watch or not. So they have to work together. So, if you ask ChatGPT for some title suggestions and it gives you some, pick one maybe and say, I like this one so far. This is my favorite, but I still don't love it. Can you? And then ask it some other questions like, can you give me some variations of this that would be good for better CTR, right? And then it'll give you some more choices. And then maybe you have an idea for the thumbnail. Maybe you take a screenshot of yourself. Add that into ChatGPT. Say, okay, right now my favorite is this one, but here is the thumbnail. I'm attaching the thumbnail image I want to use as a base for the thumbnail. Knowing what that is, now do you have any suggestions on the title? And oh, by the way, also, what text should I put on the thumbnail? And see what it says. You need to go back and forth with ChatGPT multiple times before, not always, but sometimes. That's the exercise that I go through. So I hope that helps. Are you using the Sony ZV-E10 for this stream currently? Yeah, no. No, this is the A6400, which is the older version of the ZV-E10. My ZV-E10 is right here. So it's essentially the same as that. It's just, I've got 2 of these cameras. I only have one of the Sigma lens. I'm using that one right now, the 16 millimeter lens. But yeah, this is exactly what the ZV-E10 would look like with the Sigma lens. But it's the older A6400. Let's see. Rob, you need to plug Creators Cove, Jason says. Anybody wants to join Creators Cove, thank you, Jason. Link in the description below. Should be a link down there for that. If it's not, then just go to my website and click Start Here. And there's a link to Creators Cove. It's a free community where you can go and ask questions. I may answer, other people may answer. You can meet other people in there. I think we're up to over 1,300 people in Creators Cove now, which is pretty cool. So there you go. You know what? It is 4 o'clock here in Atlantic, Canada, 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm going to have to go. For those of you who are going to be in the after party members live stream, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I just need to go use the restroom first. All right. So thank you, everybody. And thanks, Scott. Yes, there's the link if anybody wants to check that out. Yeah, and for those who are going to be in the members live stream, I will see you over there in a few minutes. Thanks, everybody, for joining today. I hope to have another video out before the end of this week. If not, I will see you next Tuesday here for a special Christmas party live stream on the 23rd, Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I think I'm going to give something away. I'm feeling in a giving mood. I just have to figure out what that is. All right, guys. Have a great day. Great rest of your week. We'll see you soon. Bye.